Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I'm gonna talk about discipline. So there are a few things that I want to touch upon. Firstly is discipline, secondly is system, thirdly is process. They are different, but they are somewhat similar, because with discipline, with system, with process, they enable us to get a desired outcome and change, of course. Alright, so firstly is discipline. Discipline is you maintain doing what you're doing without changing anything else. That is what I know about discipline, because discipline can be boring, for example, doing 10 push-ups a day. It sounds little, yes, but you need discipline. It's little. Everyone could, or not everyone, but a lot of people could do 10 push-ups if you tell them to do push-ups, or if you challenge them to do push-ups. Then it's easy. A lot of people can do it, but that is not really discipline. Telling someone to do push-ups for once is not discipline. For twice is not discipline. For 3 times maybe it's discipline. So yeah, if you go down again, under discipline there is persistence, there's consistency, and more things. So yeah, discipline and consistency is also highly relatable, because without consistency, how can you be disciplined? Without discipline, how can you be consistent? Yes, alright, you may argue that I can be consistent without being disciplined. For example, if you're boxing, if you're throwing a punch, you could be consistent throwing multiple punches, but without discipline, the quality of that punch is not the same. So discipline is you maintaining the quality of what you're doing. You're being, what is it, delegate, or I forgot that word. Maybe delegate, like you make sure that you're doing the best that you can. You're doing it consistently to get the same outcome. Because we are human beings, we tend to, we adapt to the surroundings. Sometimes we feel like we are emotional beings as well. We have chemicals in our brain that, dictate us. And with discipline, you are basically telling your own brain to do this, don't do this. So discipline is also you avoiding doing the things that is not worth for you, that is not good for you. For example, self-harm. It may not be good for you. Sometimes you have to do it, I don't know, but objectively speaking, it's not good. You're harming yourself for the bad. It's better that you harm yourself for the good. So yeah, harming yourself for the bad includes, for example, committing suicide. It's not good. Like, come on, this guy you just go in, bro. I don't know why this car is so slow. Sangyong, is it? Hyundai, I don't know. Oh, yeah, Hyundai. So discipline is the general term, the general word, general attribute that you should have. Why I talk about discipline is because I learn a lot about myself in trading. Why is this coming? You're already outside. Hiyo. When I learn about trading for years, I've been learning about trading since 2020. August 2020. So now it's 2025. It's May 2025. This guy clearly doesn't know how to. I'm a little bit angry there. But discipline is you regulate yourself. Discipline is like you're becoming a robot, basically. But you're not a robot. You still have emotions, but you control yourself. That is discipline. You control yourself. You're not harming yourself. That is discipline. Robots are more disciplined than human beings because they are very objective, very binary. 0, 1, yes, no. Robot by nature is very objective, very disciplined. It's yes and no. There's no like in between. Unless right now we have AI, there are like considerations. They are also trying to be more human-like. So human by nature is not disciplined. We are like animals basically. But sometimes even animals are disciplined. But human beings, the best of human beings are, there's a saying in Islam or hadith, I'm not really sure which one, but the best of human beings, they are ranked in like status or their rank in general. The best of human beings could be better than the angels, because angels are just following God's order, but human beings, we have our like freedom of choice. We can do what we want. We have our free will, but angels, they don't have that. So the best of human beings, we could be in rank better than the angels, the best of human beings. But the worst of human beings, we could be worse than animals. So, not saying that animals are bad, but we have the ability to think. Animals have, but not like how we think. We have like consciousness. Animals probably do not have consciousness. They're cute and all, they may be aggressive and all, but they're animals. We are humans. But are we the same as animals? Biologically, maybe. Like we have some parts, like we are part of mammals, right? We have some parts that we can like relate with animals, but we can be better than that. We are not just animals. Have you seen a cat building a vehicle like humans do? Have you seen a monkey or a society of monkeys building skyscrapers? Not really. Even if there is, then that's an intelligent monkey. So yeah, the first thing, discipline. You need discipline to get to your desired outcome, because if you keep changing your input, for example, I go back to my trading, right? I've been trading for 5 years. I keep changing. I know I want to find that perfect entry last time. Now I'm more lenient towards direction and more towards like system, SOP, process. We will talk more about that after this, but yeah, first thing you need is discipline. You cannot change. You need to suffer. You need to persevere. You need to experience the good and the bad. That is discipline, man. You allow yourself to experience the good and the bad as well. That is discipline. Because if you only want the good and not the bad, how can you say you are disciplined, man? Sometimes there are sacrifices to be made. You need pain to gain. So, for example, you need to build your body, right? Or you need to get slimmer. You may be fat. You need to get slimmer. So one of the easiest ways is calorie deficit, eating less calorie, getting less calorie input. So discipline, yeah, you may feel like, oh, I'm so hungry, but I cannot eat too much. If you eat too much until you're full all the time, of course, it's not calorie deficit. So you need to make sure that you are comfortable with that pain. Make it like your second nature. Don't be too comfortable, because if you are too comfortable at your own spot, something is wrong. Make sure, even if like you're, for example, if you are the best football player like Cristiano Ronaldo, he may be comfortable at where he's at because he's suffered through a lot of pain, but at the same time he's always seeking discomfort. So yeah, you need that. If you don't have discomfort in your life, you will feel numb in your life, and you will feel like not human. You feel like animal. So if you like keep taking painkillers, if you keep smoking just to get rid of your stress, you don't allow yourself to experience the pain, you take drugs, you don't allow yourself to experience the pain, it's hard for you because you are an escapist. You keep escaping. How are you going to succeed that way? You need to experience the yin and yang, the bad and the good. You need that, because like you wouldn't know what the value of money until you are poor. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of us are poor. Only certain people, they come from very wealthy family. They don't know the value of money. Yes, sometimes people say money can buy happiness, but money can buy a lot of things. Happiness is not the only reason why you should have money. Yes, money can buy a lot of things that makes you happy, but that's not really the sole purpose of money. Money is just a value of transaction. It's a resource. If you have a lot of money, you can do whatever in this world. So yes, first is discipline. If you want to speed up your process of getting to your end goal, be disciplined. For example, be disciplined for 30 days or 100 days. See where you are. That's when you can tell. Like, yes, you can say I've been trading for 10 years, but throughout the 10 years, are you consistently disciplined? Maybe you're not. Maybe you take 5 years break, 3 years just gambling once every few months, every time you have money. That's not trading. So yeah, you need to make sure that you know who you are in order to become disciplined. Because if you don't know who you are, it's hard. So secondly is system. To allow yourself to be disciplined, you need to have system. Alright, you can work so hard, but with no system, you don't have any things that can facilitate you towards your end goal. For example, system is basically like the goalpost. If you're, for example, in a football match, if there's no goalpost, people could be working so hard, discipline, focus on the ball, but not on the goal. You need to focus on the goal as well, not just the ball. So system allows that. System is where you are focused on the goal, whereas discipline, I'm sorry. System is you focusing on the ball. Discipline is you are focusing on the goal. So let me repeat. So with discipline, you are focusing on the end goal. For example, I want to be fit, I want to be slim, I want to have a desired body. So that is your end goal. Discipline helps you, but system, it's in the micro. Discipline is in the macro. System is in the micro. So how do you get your desired body? Is through system, not discipline. Because system facilitates that. Like, you count your calories, for example. You journal, you take note of your, you count things, you keep track of everything. That is system. That's not discipline. Yes, again, it takes discipline to keep track of things consistently, but that's more to system. You need the data. That is system. Your system is backed by data, whereas for discipline, It's not backed by data, it's just backed on your dream, your imagination, your goal. So system without discipline is it's like you have inconsistent data. But discipline without system is like you don't have any like work, even if you think that you want to work. But come on, just come in. A lot of not good people on the world. So you need to have system as well. You can have discipline all day long. For example, you focus on kicking the ball. You focus on the goal, kicking the ball towards the goal. It seems easy, but system is how. And system, let's just bring process to system, because system, what I would use all the time is SOP. So the procedure, right? Process. I know it's a different word, but just use SOP. So discipline and SOP. Forget about system, forget about process. What I'm referring to is SOP. So discipline is like you want to get fit. You exercise all day long, but you don't know what you're doing. You just know what you want, but you don't know how you get there. That is discipline without SOP. SOP without discipline is like I do this, but I don't even know what I want. Can you relate to that? It's like if you're working right at the office, your boss tells you to do this, to do that. Okay, I know what to do, but I don't know what I want. What's for you? You know what's for the company, but you don't know what's for you. So SOP is you having consciousness, basically. It's like so many cars, man. SOP is like you know what you want. Discipline is like no. SOP is you know what to do. You know how to get there. Discipline is you know what you want. Okay, I might be wrong in this video because like I'm distracted by the surroundings. There's a lot of people park here. Like, you shouldn't park here. If I have the ability to claim all these cars, I would. Like, this is at least 2 lane. Yeah, it's 2 lane. Become 1 lane. What do you expect? And of course, maybe there's no parking lot and everything. That is whose fault? The city council? The private sectors? I don't know, man. Discipline is you know what you want. Discipline is like a robot, basically. 0, 1, yes, no. For example, you want to get fit. There's an ice cream, there's a junk food in front of you. Discipline tells you no. You know what you want, your desired body, so no. Maybe 1 times out of 10, maybe yes. But if you are very disciplined, it's a no regardless. For example, another example, maybe not junk food. Junk food is more subjective. maybe more objective is like alcohol, drugs, smoking, or cigarettes, vape. Your discipline says no, I'm never gonna touch that. That is discipline. It's objective, totally objective. But your SOP, what is SOP? Like how? SOP is you're not focused on the yes no, but SOP is how you want to get your desired body outcome. So discipline is you know what to do. Okay, let's break it down furthermore. So discipline is what? Okay, discipline is what? Whereas let me just park here. That's my store, by the way. Discipline is what? SOP is how. Alright? This is a little bit too close. I think that's it, guys. I will try to park here. It's SOP. This is SOP in practice. The SOP is how do I park. So I need to make sure it's further in. I need to make sure I can go in. It's more complicated than that, but actually I can reverse more. That is SOP. Full swing. This is SOP. See, I know how to do. I know how to parallel park. This is SOP, and I get it. Discipline is, this doesn't require discipline. This just require SOP. But in order for you to be successful, you need discipline and SOP. Let's go back to my trading. Alright. Okay, now I'm showing myself. The car is so messy behind, I'm sorry. So discipline and SOP, you need both in order to succeed. In order to succeed in what you want, basically. So you need discipline to cut the bad. Alright, sometimes you experience the bad, but there's a healthy bad and unhealthy bad. Healthy bad is what you need in order to be successful. For example, in trading, I don't need to burn a lot of money, although a lot of people do, including me. But I believe there are more people out there who burn more money because of lack of discipline. They think that I have money now, and I think I can start making money on trading. In trading. Well, where here you are. So discipline is you saying that I'm not going to spend any more money, even though I could afford it. I could afford to lose it, but no. Discipline says don't waste your money. Just keep your money. Just because the market is not going anywhere, man. The market is not going anywhere. That is discipline. Your SOP is like, how do I make money in the market? So you learn. You need SOP. You cannot just blindly learn without, SOP. Like you buy, for example, maybe your SOP is like you buy in the morning. Maybe like it's like a gambler's mindset. Maybe Monday you buy, Tuesday you sell. But if you stick to it, maybe you could have some win. I don't know, man. But in the market, you need to be more technical, because you look at the market, especially if you are day trading. You need technical analysis. Fundamental analysis is useful for macro events, so like in the long term where the market would go. But if you are day trading, scalping, maybe if you're swing trading, you need technical analysis a lot, especially day trading, man. Like scalping, maybe technical analysis, but I'm not really a fan of scalping. I've never been a fan of scalping. I'm more a fan of day trading because it's not too long, it's not too fast. Scalping is like high frequency trading, more or less, although it's not. But yeah, that is the SOP. Like, the discipline is I'm not going to spend any more money. I'm not gonna deposit until I have a proven record, proven data that if I follow this SOP, this system, I am profitable. Also, discipline is like I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to target a realistic take profit, and I'm not going to be so greedy and leave it running. Another discipline is like I'm not going to leave my positions open. There are prop funds, especially like futures, they don't allow overnight running positions. So before the market closes, you have to close your position. That is also a discipline. Alright, that itself doesn't lead to a profitable trading outcome, but that is important for you to, it's a filter to make sure that you are a disciplined trader. You can have all the SOP, alright, you can have all the SOPs, but without proper discipline, you are basically wasting part of your life, because you need discipline as well. You could say that I want to learn the hard way, man. Like, I know, like, I shouldn't spend money, but I want to experience that. That's up to you, but there's another way to go if you want to succeed in trading. If you are completely disciplined in trading, I know there are people here, they get more discipline as they learn about themselves in the market. But if you are just starting, it's very, very, very rare that people follow the right SOP and discipline. For example, I'm new. I'm not going to drive a car on the road on the spot. I'm going to learn in simulation until I can drive. Then I drive on the road. And that's basically the same thing, because it's discipline, it's SOP. Or like if you want to be a doctor, I'm not going to go to a hospital and suddenly immediately like cut anyone. Don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm here. You want to save someone's life, you need to know why you're doing this, why you're doing that. So in a lot of discipline, it's called discipline. In a lot of disciplines like medicine, in autonomy, cars, I don't know, auto transmission, I don't know, automobility, I don't know what's the discipline called. Transportation, no, I'm talking about cars. It's okay, but these are called discipline. They're called discipline for a reason, because you need discipline. Let's say trading, the discipline is trading. What's the discipline? No, discipline is not trading. Medicine is not trading. Medicine is not discipline. The discipline is the SOPs. So the SOPs is how you get there, right? But SOPs indirectly allows you to be disciplined. So let me explain. SOP, you could have different groups of SOP. SOP on how to enter the market, SOP of how to be profitable. There could be different SOPs for different things. Maybe day trading, the SOP is different. For scalping, the SOP is different. On how you want to be profitable in trading. The SOP is different. Maybe the SOP is that first step, don't put your money. First step is try demo. Second step, no, maybe under the first step, try demo is like track your data, learn. Maybe the SOP is 1, learn. 2, have a proven record that your data works. 3, then you put your money. 4, repeat. If the SOP is like first, deposit money. Second, trade until you lose. That's not the right SOP. So you need discipline. So in general, in conclusion, discipline is not even the thing on the top. What is higher than discipline is SOP. Because it's like a robot, right? You could tell a robot yes, no, but the robot could just follow that yes and no. Yes sir, no sir. You could tell a robot to do this, the robot will do it. But ask yourself why you are telling the robot to do this or to do that. That is SOP. So SOP is like, what's the intention behind it? Yes, early on I talk about discipline is you know what you want, but it's not really the intention. You know what you want isn't an intention. You're just in a discipline. You're just in a topic of discussion. Yes, you know what you want. You know this because you heard that, or it's like common sense. But SOP is better. Is how? What is it? What's that word? SOP is fundamentally more crucial than discipline. Because in any discipline, medicine, finance, automobility, I don't know, man, you need SOP. It's not like, even if you're fishing, you need SOP. For example, make sure you hook the bait. Make sure the reel is check the reels, it's okay. Then if you throw this SOP, swing back. You don't just throw like that. You need to swing, get momentum, then you throw. You need fishing rod, preferably. You could just use string without fishing rod. You could still fish, but the SOP would be different. So yeah. Or learning how to walk. The SOP is like first step. So when you're a baby, you learn a lot because you don't know a single thing until you learn one by one. You learn how to walk. You learn how to crawl first. So the SOP is, for example, SOP of running. You tell a baby. You don't have to tell baby. The baby knows naturally, but you need to apply this understanding since you were a baby, how you learn things, how you walk, how you run. So let me tell you a brief history of us, how we run, how we can run. The SOP is first, learn how to crawl. Second, learn how to walk. Then third, learn how to jog. Fourth, then you can learn how to run. So all of us know how to walk. A lot of us. A lot of us know how to jog. A lot of us know how to run. But to run properly, those athletes know more because they are more focused in that discipline, this athleticism discipline. So the discipline is, you know what you want clearly. You're like in the top 1%. You know what you want. That's the discipline. So in finance, in trading, the discipline is you want to be in the top 1%. But the SOP allows you to get there. So you understand. So forget about, okay, if you need one word from me, it's not discipline. Because in trading, you should know that you are in trading. You are trading. That is the discipline already. So you don't need that discipline advice from me. You know yourself. You're a human being. You're not an animal. You know yourself. So I'm not going to advise on discipline, but I'm going to advise on SOP. Because with SOP, you could collect your data and see. It's like doing medical checkup basically. It's like, oh, you're reading your blood pressure is high, that's SOP. They track they check yourself, check if your blood sugar is high, or if your blood pressure high blood pressure, if you have high blood pressure, if you have cholesterol, they check, they diagnose you. The same thing, you have to diagnose yourself in trading. By how? Tracking, keeping the data and check, this is profitable, this is not. Fix that. Learn. A lot of things you can learn in trading, but make sure it's like you keep in a certain subset of the discipline. For example, if you trade, stick to one way to trade, and you know, refine the system, refine the SOP. Don't just ditch it. But eventually, sometimes you have to ditch it if it's like nonsense. Maybe you say like, I only trend line. Yes, you can be profitable, but maybe you get exposed to learning about ICT and you say, oh, trend line is, I don't have much reason to, there's not much reason for me to understand what trend line is. So let's learn about ICT. Yes, sometimes you have to ditch it, but the SOP applies. It's the same SOP. You need to learn first, just like how you learn how to crawl. Practice. For example, playing bowling, learn how to throw the ball, learn how to bowl, step by step. You cannot just do it all in one day. So if you expect to get signals from anyone, if you expect to, yes, you can get the guidance, but you need to learn yourself as well, because no one is going to help you in any discipline. Yes, you could rely on signals, but that means you cannot rely on yourself. You need to rely on yourself first, then you will change yourself. If you rely on signals, you may change your money, but might as well you invest your money into something else. So you don't just rely on signals, especially free signals, man. At least if you rely on bad signals, you invest some money in that. If you want to get spoon fed all the time, you expect the best result, I'm sorry, man, you're not in the right world. You need to be in the right world, right state of mind. So I think that's it. Very long rambling. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.